In a world of growing mental health awareness, it comes as no surprise that anxiety is one of the leading diagnoses. While it's perfectly normal to have some anxiety on a fleeting basis, it's not normal for it to wreak havoc on your day-to-day life. What triggers one person's anxiety may not even register on the radar for another, so it's important to learn and take stock of what may or may not provoke your anxiety. Number 1. Caffeine. Topping the list, caffeine can do many things, including inducing anxiety. It can be great in small doses, though tolerance levels will vary from person to person. In some people, too much caffeine can be a trigger that worsens existing anxiety. Fortunately, it's also an easier trigger to control. For example, some people may find their anxiety improved simply by cutting back from 3 to 2 cups of coffee. Number 2. A messy home environment. This one often surprises people. A messy home environment doesn't always cause stress or anxiety for people, but in an individual with anxiety, it can make a huge difference. If you struggle with anxiety, consider evaluating your home environment. A cluttered home can sometimes be an issue because it sits at the back of your mind on your to-do list. The proverbial mental to-do list can be triggering for anxiety, resulting in a number of responses including insomnia, increased stress, reduced ability to focus, and more. Small changes such as adding the house to your to-do list or simply tidying up on a regular basis has the potential to reduce anxiety, but this may not be true for everyone. Number 3. Self-neglect. Self-neglect and self-care are often tough pills to swallow, but yet still surprisingly common in the world of anxiety. Neglecting yourself and not taking care of your personal needs can be an anxiety trigger. Whether you're not showering regularly, skipping meals, staying up too late, or not going to the doctor, it's important to evaluate these behaviors and work to take better care of yourself. If you're struggling with getting these tasks done, there may be more at play, such as depression, which can sometimes go hand in hand with anxiety. Number 4. Not enough sleep. Sleep, or lack thereof, is linked to a slew of mental and physical health issues, so it should come as no surprise that anxiety is one of them. While staying up later than usual on occasion likely won't cause any harm, a lack of sleep over a long period of time can exacerbate anxiety symptoms in some. In some people, small changes such as practicing good sleep hygiene or creating a more realistic sleep schedule can make a huge difference. Number 5. Stress. Unfortunately, stress is a common part of life. Even worse, it can also become a trigger for anxiety. It's extremely difficult to control stress, which in turn makes it equally difficult to control the anxiety that results. While there are ways to reduce stress, it's important to find a way that works best for you and your situation. Number 6. Finances. Often going hand in hand with stress are your finances. For some people, it doesn't matter if they're completely broke or living with a hefty cushion. Finances simply cause them anxiety. While this may seem like a more challenging anxiety trigger, it can be surprisingly helpful to sit down and make a plan. Many find that having a plan, even just a simple one, can reduce their anxiety significantly. Number 7. Social gatherings. There are several different types of anxiety, and social anxiety is surprisingly common. The idea of having to interact with people, whether it be strangers, acquaintances, or even close friends, can quickly trigger anxiety in some. If you think you may be suffering from a form of social anxiety, it's best to work with a trained mental health professional who can work with you to identify and find a solution that works best for your situation. Number 8. Work environment. A stressful job or work environment can bring on the occasional bout of anxiety. While it's normal to deal with occasional work-related stress and anxiety, it's abnormal for it to be a daily part of the job over several months or years. Unfortunately, this may be a more difficult trigger to address. Whether the job or the work environment is causing you stress, it may be time to work with a mental health care provider who can help you address and deal with the stress and anxiety that goes along with it. Number 9. Conflict. Any type of conflict can trigger anxiety, whether it's an argument with a coworker, your spouse, parent, child, or even some random person on the internet. Fortunately, conflict as an anxiety trigger can be addressed. By learning better conflict resolution, you can work to better manage your anxiety at the same time. Number 10. Upcoming exams. Tests often carry heavy influence over final grades, success in applying for programs, or for progression within a career. Because our brain sees tests and exams as crucial performance moments, it's easy to get caught in a pattern of negative what-if thinking related to test outcomes. This negative rumination and pressure can trigger and increase anxiety. Number 11. Health issues. Receiving a health diagnosis that is surprising or difficult, particularly if it's a chronic illness, can introduce anxiety or worsen anxiety that was already there. Anxiety is often fueled by a sense of worry about bad things happening or feeling out of control, and a significant health issue can bring up these worries and contribute to anxiety levels. Other medical issues, such as hyperthyroidism, can directly lead to anxiety because of their physiological effects on the body. Number 12. Experiencing major life transitions. Moving, getting divorced, and switching careers are some of the most stressful life events, according to a study. Nearly half of all respondents in the study said moving was the most stressful life event they've gone through, while 33% of people said getting married was their most stressful experience. Major life events can definitely trigger both stress and anxiety. If you know that transitions trigger anxiety, start planning steps to complete the transition in advance whenever possible. While anxiety can cause people to freeze, creating and checking off action items may help you to feel more in control. Number 13. Medications can trigger an anxiety attack. Certain medications have some ugly side effects and can cause anxiety symptoms or an anxiety attack. Prescription medications to watch out for include thyroid drugs and asthma drugs, while over-the-counter decongestants have been known to cause anxiety symptoms in some people. If you suddenly stop taking certain medications, sometimes used to treat anxiety, such as benzodiazepines, withdrawal may cause added anxiety. Number 13. Skipping meals. When you don't eat, your blood sugar may drop. That can lead to jittery hands and a rumbling tummy. It can also trigger anxiety. Eating balanced meals is important for many reasons. It provides you with energy and important nutrients. If you can't make time for 3 meals a day, healthy snacks are a great way to prevent low blood sugar, feelings of nervousness or agitation, and anxiety. Remember, food can affect your mood. Knowing the triggers that are associated with your anxiety can help you work to keep your anxiousness in check, which will help improve your overall mental health and well-being. Fortunately, intrepid mental wellness professionals are trained to help identify and address potential anxiety triggers and then work through them, which may include the use of prescribed psychiatric medications. If you are suffering from anxiety, we would love to hear from you and how we may be able to help.